Once upon a time, there was a king. He ruled a realm far, far away. His pride and conceit have been well known in every corner of his domain. One day, the king summoned his 3 daughters. "How can we serve your majesty?" the oldest one asked. "One day I will die, but I cannot let my daughters fight over my throne. Today I shall designate as queen the daughter who loves me, her king and father, best. This is my will. Come forward, Drahomira," king addressed his oldest daughter, "and tell me how much you love me." "I love like gold." "Gold? A rare element." King seemed really pleased with the answer. "Very good, Drahomira. And you, Spiewanka, how much do you love me?" "Daddy, your majesty, I love like diamonds." "Ah, a pity your mother isn't here. What a joy it would have been for her." King was obviously moved by his daughter's words. "I see and hear that you love me truly. Now only Marushka is left. Say, how much do you love me?" "I love like salt," the youngest of King's daughters shouted enthusiastically. "Like what?" "Like salt." "Salt? Salt?" asked King, baffled and annoyed. "That's something everybody has enough of." "Do you mean to say that you have enough of me?" asked King while his anger was rising. "Daddy, go from my house, unhappy one. Out you go! Out!" The princess has been banished, and nothing else was left to do than just to set off to her journey into the intimidating world full of uncertainty. The princess trudging through the old forest with trouble, for hours, days, weeks. While sun circled the skyline over and over again, her journey continued. At the same time in the kingdom, the madness continued. On order of the lunatic king, all salt of the kingdom has been thrown into the river. "No more! No more!" was the mad king shouting. "I don't want to see any of this damned salt in my kingdom!" Meanwhile, the princess was continuing her journey. On the edge of the forest, princess stumbled upon an old wooden house. While she was approaching it, she noticed an old woman. "My child, come into my house. Warm yourself up. You must be hungry. Come, I will feed you as I can best." The old woman invited the princess into her humble cabin. "So what brings such a noble woman to here, so far from home?" "My father, the king, banished me from the realm for violating his majesty." "It's a great felony to send your own daughter away, no matter if you're just a simple fisherman, a noble knight, or the king himself," said the old woman. "Don't worry, child. He will realize his mistake and weep after you. For now, rest. You have traveled a long way from home." Meanwhile, in the castle. "Is that some kind of a joke? How am I supposed to cook without salt?" the royal chef was complaining. Since the king got rid of all of the salt in the kingdom, all meals contained only sweets. Cakes, cookies, chocolate muffins replaced everything else. "Oh, what a hellish plague fall upon my realm!" King was despairing. "Who can save my king? Oh!" The excess of sugar and sweets brought the realm and all of its inhabitants to catastrophic conditions. Boats were sinking under fat fishermen. Every deer would easily flee from overweight hunters. Crops were rotting in the fields, since none of the plump villagers would care to harvest them. My dear child, what a dark times we came to. The whole kingdom is suffering from obesity and excess of sugar. The king's pride brought hardship on the whole realm, replied shocked princess. Take this magic key. It possesses enormous magical powers, which will save the kingdom. Now I must go back. Only salt can fix it and restore the balance. The princess, terrified by the news about her father's realm, rushed back to the castle. She got back to the kingdom in a blink of an eye. Princess stood in front of her father, was surprised by his sudden return. "Father, my king, I've come back to save you and your realm." "Thank you, daughter, but you would need an unimaginable power to repair my faults," replied the worried king. "I do, father. I'm capable of bringing the kingdom to a proper state. Using this magic key, I'll bring back the salt." "Finally! The salt is back!" The chief seems really excited. "The kingdom is saved! Let's get rid of all those sweets!" ordered the king. "Daughter, my little dove, how could I have been so cruel and foolish? Will you forgive me for my unjustifiable acts? Now I see the real value of salt. Now I understand how much love you have for your old, silly father. I want to announce my decision. Immediately, my youngest daughter proved that she is a brave, bright, and a decent candidate to replace me on the throne. It's official. Marushka will be my heir," said the king with an undisguised pride. The era of sugar-free cuisine officially began, and they lived happily ever.